Every business day, I get you started with some stuff that's going on in the markets, unusual activity, we like to call it. And this is the 3rd of February, just got off the slopes, getting back to Chicago now. And let's get right to it, shall we? The disclaimer says that our services are for educational and informational purposes only. Full stop. You need to understand that all investments involve risk. Intellectual property rights. Yes, we have registered marks, trademarks, patents, copyrights on virtually everything you're about to see. So please, before you repurpose it, putting it nicely, please ask us and then cite Market Rebellion. Wall Street's biggest bets, yeah, still Jamie Rogozinski. We're getting a ton of views on that interview, that podcast from last week. I encourage all of you to check out Jamie's book. It was an eye-opener for sure. And Jamie, real gent, thank you for joining me again, Jamie, on that podcast. This is one that I talked to around that time when I interviewed Jamie. This is the Spider Spy. It was 372.91. It had had a couple pretty harsh sell-off days, 500-600 points, and then we noted somebody stepped in and bought 20,000 of those March 395 calls. End of March, 395 calls. Well, I think all of you know what has happened since. That's where the S&P 500 was. It was one of those, like I say, bad days, down 2%. And today, bang, 382.87. That's a fast 10 points, my friends. That dog will hunt. Wow. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks, because that YouTube channel, all of our stuff gets posted there. So whether it is, and I have to put on the mask occasionally, whether that YouTube content is Pete's The Take, whether it's my 3 at 3, whether it is a podcast, you can get all of it. You just go to YouTube, and into that bar, you type Market Rebellion into the search bar, click on subscribe when you get there, and then in the upper right-hand corner, click on that little bell, and you'll get alerted every single time we put up an update. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the fresh 3 at 3 right now. Fold, F-O-L-D, Fold Therapeutics. Take a look. Bullish call buying with stock at just below 20, but they're buying the 25s. I know you know, if you've been watching me, that I don't buy those 25s. I buy the 20s and sell a higher strike against it. So that's the way I play. Those calls were bought for about $3.20. So if you only bought those calls, you're really, other than a fast move, you're asking for the stock to get to $28.20 before March expiration. Obviously, it can do that in a heartbeat on just a pop, but I like moving the odds into my favor. That's what I like to do. There's Amicus Therapeutics or Fold. As you see, $5 billion market cap, $20 a share. When we cited it, about 30 cents cheaper. Second trade of our 3 at 3 is Open, O-P-E-N. Bullish call buying with stock at $29.55. They're buying 28 calls. So this is an in-the-money call buying. It's not out of the money like the other. This is in the money by about $1.55, right? So buying those and selling a higher strike cuts my risk. That's exactly what I did. Let's take a look at Open. There's Open, $29.43. Here it was $29.55, so it's virtually the same spot that it was a little earlier today. The third and final of our 3 at 3 today is Airbnb. This is a multiple time hit for us. We've had a number of good reads in here, had some nice pops and profits. This is yet another. It's for next week expiration, not this week, the 5th, but next week, the 12th. As you see, stock at $189.81, virtually $190. They're buying the 200 calls and paying $4. I like that. I'll be following them into that trade. And I like Airbnb's business model coming out of this. Take a look, by the way, at Airbnb there at $184.90. Bang. All right, now I'm going to answer some questions for you. And if you're wondering why the mask, well, because I happen to be flying back commercial out of Salt Lake City. And just in case, I want to make sure if anybody gets close that I'm following the rules. So people asked at Jon Najarian or at 3 at 3 _ UOA. You got questions? We've got answers. Brad Siegel says, hey, with IV, which is implied volatility, continuing to drop in GME options, wouldn't it be better to close your trade out sooner rather than later if you're up? Yep, it will be probably, and I very well might do that very shortly. I don't have to hold it all the way till April, but that was my intention, as you recall, Brad, when I established the trade. It's a winner, and I'm not. It's not that I rooted against these guys; it's just that I moved the odds into my favor for where the market might be going. In other words, skate to where the puck is going, folks. Bang. Help. All right. Well, Steak and Lobster, which is Alex Marina 2020, asks, John, help. I feel like stocks are making all-time highs every day. At what point do you think we'll see a correction? Or should I be building up cash piles with every UOA trade? Or just ride and die? Thanks as always. Well, Steak and Lobster, which is, again, Alex Marina 2020. We are seeing a lot of highs, and we're also seeing a lot of churn. The stock market, not necessarily, after those 600-point sell-off days. We made it back 300 points. We were up 600 one day and then gave it back and finished up 300. It's not like it's been straight up to the upside, Steak and Lobster. So I pull off cash on every winner, and then I try to let them run and snug up a call, with a stop underneath the calls that I already own to try to protect the gains that I've got. Bang. Videos. I love you, John, says Jacob. Jacob's handle is at Lovin, Lovin, God, G-O-D, for EVA85. And thank you, Jacob. He says, I love you, John. It must be tiring doing all these vids, but I hope it's your passion. It is. Thank you. Keep sharing your trades. You have really made a difference for all of us. Well, thank you, sir. Jacob, always appreciate somebody who's getting something out of these videos. Your flight will leave in 2 minutes. And some of the things that we do to reach out to folks like yourself. So thank you, Jacob. Honestly, humbly, thank you. Powder. How's the powder? Hey, it wasn't deep powder this trip, but it was really good snow. Didn't have any rocks or anything. It was a nice coating. They got 19 inches last week. So it made for the very nice snow, and bang, I'll be back out in a couple weeks. All right. Oh, and by the way, the handle there was at John G _Arch, A-R-C-H. Thank you, John G, for that. That's my nickname in some circles, John G. If you'd like to learn more about what we do, go to marketrebellion.com /UOA. That is marketrebellion.com /UOA for unusual option activity. Folks, if you want to learn how to spread with options, if you want to learn how to cut your risk with options, if you want to turn stocks you've got into cash flow, where you can just get cash pouring into your account every week or every 2 weeks or every month from selling call options, we can show you how to do that. Go to marketrebellion.com /get started for that. If you're already an advanced player and you want to follow along with what we're doing, go to marketrebellion.com /UOA. All right, my friends, I appreciate each and every one of you joining me. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Got to jump on the plane. And until next time, have a great one. By the way, I'll be on the halftime report tomorrow and Friday. Bang.